Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and this is our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 486. Welcome! Welcome to everybody who is joining us for the first time. Hello, very nice to meet you. I'm Stacy. I'm the owner of Scrapbooking Made Simple. And for those of you who have been with us for years and years, it's good to have you back. Now, what do I have in store for you today? Well, I have definitely a full-length class. This is not going to be a shortcut on a little bit of this and a little bit of that and poof, we make magic. This is walking you step by step through some of this product. Our classes are completely commercial free, just an FYI. And for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, I am definitely a talker. No question about that. And these videos are unscripted and unedited. So what you see is what you get. I don't edit out the bloopers or voice over the video. This is you and me crafting on hopefully a Saturday morning. If you're joining me at 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central or 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom, we are live chatting over off the side, and there's always hundreds of you popping into the live chat saying, hey girl, hey. so hey girl, hey back, or hey boy, hey. We have an amazing class for you today. I'm slightly biased because it is my product. I have the next release of Simply Defined, and these are dies and stamps. So I have 4 exclusive sets of dies and stamps that come packaged together. But then if you just want the stamp, maybe you're not a die cutter at all, maybe you're a stamper, we have the stamp sold separately. But if you're getting the die, you're getting the stamp too. You don't have to buy it separately. It's caused a little confusion over the last few times we've done this. The die is not sold separately from the stamp. If you're buying the die, the stamp comes in that package. You don't have to order the stamp separately. If you don't want the die, then you can just order the stamp on its own. So I've got 4 new sets. I love them. I've got beautiful new product to show you, but I think most of you may have something very similar to this product already in your Crafty stash. So let's get it out and let's figure out some really fun and unique ways to use it, and maybe ways you didn't think were possible, that you hadn't really go, that's interesting. I have got a worldwide launch from Jacquard. I do. It's not their Pearlex. I'm gonna play with their Pearlex, but it's not their Pearlex. Who knew they had this? Not me. I do now, and we're lucky enough to have the worldwide launch for it. So just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but most importantly, teachable moments that will make you have the confidence to just sit down and do. Yep, I'm going to be playing just with black and white paper today. So everything I can do, you can do. Honestly, I am not the most experienced crafter. I don't get the opportunity to sit down and craft all day long. So I have to do things that are accessible to me, that I feel confident in. So if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you that. And once you start making handmade, well, friends and family aren't going to let you go back, that's for sure. Now I have winner chicken dinner to talk about. I also want to let you know that next week, our YouTube class, please watch for it. I'm not 100% sure what time it's going to launch. Usually we launch at 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, or 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. I cannot do that. I will be in Germany. I am going to Creative World. It's the first time I'll be back in a few years now that we're able to travel again. But we're still going to live chat during the launch. It's going to be just a few hours later. I'm thinking maybe 10 a.m. sunny California time, noon Central, 1 Eastern. I'm thinking, so let me figure that out, and I will be sure to post it so you know what time to come on for the live chat. I leave for Germany on Thursday and I'm back on Tuesday. It is a whirlwind trip, and of course I will be doing live from Creative World from all of our most favorite international manufacturers. So join me for all of that on Facebook. And just so you know, you don't have to be a member of Facebook. to watch everything that we do on Facebook. Our Facebook page is a public page, and that means that you can click in from our website. At the top, you'll see Scrapbooking Made Simple. Then there's some little icons, one with a little F on it. You can click that and you can watch all of the fun moments that we have from Germany. And who knows, I'm sure there'll be winter chicken dinners. I just don't know. I can't travel back with anything, so I'm thinking it's gonna be, we'll do gift cards or something, but I absolutely will be doing live from Creative World. Can't wait to go and see all of my international friends that I have not seen for many years. Now today we also have winter chicken dinner, and I want to talk about one more thing before let's do winter chicken dinner first, and then we'll talk about one more thing. Okay, so YouTube 485 stays in place inks, right? It's very cool ink. It's very similar to a StazOn, but it's got a pearlescence to it. Yes, it's got so many colors. We launched 12. I want to say, I think there's 36 colors. We'll begin launching them through, and really beautiful product. I just really think that last week's YouTube was an aha moment for me too, because until I get to sit and play with it, I don't know if I like it or not. I try not to pass judgment on anything until I give it a full Stacy go round. I need to really work with it and see what it can do, and then we decide, oh yeah, I like this, or nope. Nope. That was from Sesame Street. Yep. Nope. See? Unscripted, unedited. You get what you get when you get me. Now, our first winner chicken dinner, and these are people who posted a comment below me. Hello, look down. Not live chat. If you're watching this during the premiere, we are live chatting. The live chat comments don't count. So below me, these are two people who posted comments. We have cleared out all the winners, and so everybody, we're starting all fresh again. So winners, you might have won last year. You might have, who knows when you won last. We have our random software select our winners, and these two lucky ladies posted comments below, and they just happened to be a winner this week, and they get a $25 gift card. Who doesn't like free money? So our first one is Susan Hallgas. Hello, Susan Hallgas, is that you? Congratulations to you. You are a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo kachoo. Our next winner is Deborah. Gosh, I think she won not long ago, but you know what? New year, new everything. Deborah Lemabre. Deborah, I know this name. I know you won last year. I know you did. I know. But guess what? It's your turn again. You just never ever know when it's going to be you. So congratulations to Deborah and to Susan. We have to do the winner chicken dinner dance. Yes, we do. It's like mandatory here. You don't really feel like you're a winner unless you've done the winner chicken dinner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo for you. Congratulations to both of you. Your $25 is already in your online account. Go spend it any way that makes your heart happy. I was in an airport once, walking to my plane, and behind me I hear, you're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. I turn around. It was great. I met a customer who watches this on YouTube, who I never would have met ever in my life if we hadn't been at the airport at the exact same time. But it was so funny because I heard her go, you're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a So made my heart happy. Now, before we get started for today, I want to let you know that we are currently working and shipping 473. We'll begin 474 next week. I think that our Spellbinders, say yes to Spellbinders, are all gone. I mean, we're doing our best to keep up, but we are going to be down 4 people next week. 4, that's a lot, including me. So we're just gonna do our best to try and keep going the way we are, but there may be a delay. We've got some people out sick. And so, and I don't expect them back next week. So just hang tight and know that 4 people are going to be, ooh, it better not be 5 people. 4 people are going to be out next week. So we'll do our best to keep going the way we're going. And thank you for your understanding about that. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is my son, James. Y'all kept the secret so good. Before Christmas, I showed you a ring that was my dad's ring. And I gave my dad this ring. It was the first big gift I ever gave my dad I was young. I was still like 18, I think. But it was a big purchase for me to do this. And I was in the jewelry industry. And my dad wore this ring every day until he didn't. I thought the ring was lost. When he passed away, I couldn't find it. I thought my brother had it. He didn't. So I showed you the ring before Christmas because my son James wears his heart on his sleeve. He's so kind and he's so sentimental, and he's the one who's going to want all the family pictures, and he's going to want all the family heirlooms, and those things matter to him. So it makes it matter to me. Oh, I'm going to tear up. He's 21 years old and he really just has a big heart. And so when I found my dad's ring, I thought there's nobody better to give it to than my son James for Christmas. And I showed you the ring in its rough state. The onyx was gone. It was all scratched up. It was just in sorry shape. But now James has the ring. See right here. And it's all fixed. He wears it every day. He got it for Christmas. Look at how beautiful. If you go back and watch that YouTube, you'll see the onyx was gone. There was just a gaping hole, and it was just all scratched and worn. My dad wore it every single day. So when James opened it for Christmas, I knew I was going to tear up because it's my dad's ring. I didn't know that James was going to get a little emotional, and watching him open it and see his papa's ring just made the best Christmas ever. And he wears it every day, and it's like a little piece of my dad with me all the time. And so you guys did good. You kept your secret. He wants it back. He said, I can only show it on YouTube, and then he needs it back. But if anybody was going to cherish it and value it and love it and understand the meaning behind it, it was James. So it was the perfect Christmas gift ever. And really, when he opened it and I saw his shoulders start to shake just a little bit, and I saw a little tear, just perfect. So thank you for keeping my secret, because it made the best Christmas. All right. So today it's all about Simply Defined. And if you're still with me, thank you. And if you're not, well, we'll miss you. I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started for today. I've got a lot to show, a lot to share, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you. It's a good day for a good day, right? I agree. Okay, down we go. Bye. And zoom, 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 and down, 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 and zoom, zoom, zoom. For those of you who this is your first time, I don't have overhead cameras. I don't have a little computer screen over here to see what I'm doing. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. All right, so a couple samples to show you. So these are new Simply Defined dies, and there is coordinating stamps to go with. There's one sample. And the second one, Belinda did this, and it's just beautiful. And here. So a few samples to kind of give you an idea of what the dies look like, but I'm gonna walk you through them. That one was by Doris, and the first one was by Claire. So I think I'll start by I'm gonna show you what they are. So first one here, and remember, if you buy the die, you're going to get the stamp with it. So if you're buying if you know you're getting the die set, well, then you're also getting the stamp. But if you don't want the die, we are selling the stamp all by itself. And it's packaged together, the die and the stamp. They are a full A2 size, and that includes the stamp. These are big, these are full size. And all 4 of them, 4 designs, if you do the I Want It All, are $59.99 for an A2 size stamp and A2 size die times 4. And then if you just want the stamps, I think the stamps are $25 for all 4 of them. So again, I mean, that's a value when you're 4 into 25 is what, $6? $6 a stamp for an A2 size. That's a heck of a bargain. So we're gonna play with these today, and I'm gonna start with this one. But before I go there, I also want to tell you a little bit about the ink that I'm going to use today. So I have 2 new ink pads and 2 new re-inkers for you. And they're from Jacquard, who does all of our Pearlex and our Lumiere paints. I mean, Jacquard, Asher's been wonderful. But when he talked to me about these, I'm like, hey, color pad? That sounds kind of familiar. And he said, well, yeah, it kind of is. So I'm going to tilt on up just so because I feel weird not talking to you. I'm sorry. When I talk to you, I need to see you. I just need to see you. So Asher was like, you know, I've got this ink and I'm really interested in bringing it out to the market, and I want you to play with it. And when I got it, I'm like, wait, this looks kind of familiar. And he goes, well, we bought, do you remember Color Box? Do you remember Color Box? Was it Clear Snaps? Color Box, and they had the Color Box chalks, and they had the Color Box pigment inks, and he bought that company when they were closing. He went in and bought it. So not only now does Jacquard have all of these amazing paints and Pearlex, they now have ink pads. And I'm like, not in your typical wheelhouse, but not totally out of your wheelhouse. I mean, if all of a sudden they started to do 12 by 12 printed paper, I'd be like, maybe you should stay in, you know, with what you do best, which is beautiful things that have pigments and micas. But they bought this company. And he said, you know, we have a really, really great white and black ink. And I said, oh yeah, we have white and black ink. We do Hero Arts and we love their inks. And he goes, yeah, I know, I've watched. And he said, why don't I send you a few pads? And I said, well, okay, but you know, I love my Hero Arts, and I still love my Hero Arts, and I will always love my Hero Arts. But I always told you I wouldn't bring out a similar product to something else unless there was a reason to. When we brought out Pearlex, we had been doing Ozzie Andrews' mica, and his mica was great until I learned about Pearlex and how Pearlex works and how much more pigmented it is, and the price is insane. So there had to be a reason for me to make a swap. The product has to be better. It has to do more. Ideally, it has to be at a better price. And so when he brought these out to me, white and black, I said, I have Hero Arts. He goes, please just take a look at them. I said, okay, I'll take a look at them. Fair enough, I will look at them. And I played with them for a bit, and you know, they work very much like the Hero Arts product. The white is very much like the unicorn. It really is. And their black, which is a waterproof, is ideal for your alcohol markers and, you know, your dual tip markers, all of that. They work beautifully like the India ink. And this one might be a little more black than the India ink. So I said, well, yeah, but I'm not going to change for no reason, or I'm not going to not use my Hero Arts. Why would I? What's the catch on these? They're nice. They do what they say they're going to do. That's check 1. They're from a company I trust and respect. That's check 2. I feel confident that you'll be able to use them. That's check 3. But that's not enough to make me bring them onto camera to show you, because I'm a girl who's loyal, sometimes to a fault. And he said, well, what if we could offer them to you at a price that makes them even more affordable to your customer? I said, well, what kind of price? And he said, what if we did them for $4.99 a pad and $4.99 for the reinker, which is obviously substantially less than other companies. And I said, well, that's a horse of a different color. That might be something interesting. Let me get into them a little bit more and let my girls play with them a little bit more. And I was surprised. There are some differences between this and the Hero Arts, and the main difference isn't in the ink, it's in the body of the actual stamp pad. So this is a little thinner and the pad itself is just a little bit smaller. But we're going to launch these for him today. And I'm doing them as a bundle to where you get the white and the black and you get the reinker, both reinkers, for a little over $15. That is a value. That is a value, absolutely. And since they are very comparable to a Hero Arts, the difference is the body of the ink pad. So I'm going to tilt on down again and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in the way of the body of the ink pad. Not that the ink is any different. The ink is actually, I think, pretty much the same. This is a very white ink. It is a pigment-based ink, just like Hero Arts Unicorn ink. Absolutely, where this is definitely a black waterproof ink, and I think it's a little darker than a pigment ink, or than an India ink. But let me tilt down and let me just show you the difference in the body, or how it's different, and then we're going to move on and we're going to get started. Are you ready? Down we go. Okay, sorry, I just had to tell you. And I really am very loyal to customers. In fact, Crafter's Companion just they're launching some glitter pastes, and it's like, nope, we have glitter pastes from somebody else. I mean, their colors are beautiful and there's nothing wrong with it, but I have Creative Expressions who makes the same beautiful glitter pastes, and unless there's a reason to change, we don't. So we're still going to carry our Hero Arts inks, which are a little more money than these, but this is another option for you, and it's from Jacquard, so you know it's quality product. The thing I want to show you is the housing. So the ink pad's a little bit smaller than what the Hero Arts ink pad is, and the base is a little bit thinner. For some of you, you're going to be going, ooh, I like that better. And others may say, no, that doesn't work for me. I want to give you the option. It's the same here. And these aren't the only two colors that they have, but these are the two colors that we're going to start with that I am confident in. So again, the base is a little thin. The pad itself is a wee bit smaller. It is a felt-based pad, and the reinkers. So at $4.99 for a white and a black ink, $4.99 each and $4.99 for the refills, and then on sale for a little over $15. This is a nice group. This is a nice way to get into white and black ink if you don't already have it, and if you do, then it's just an added bonus to have this if you need it, and if you don't, then you don't. But I didn't want you to think that I was giving up my Hero Arts. We're not. I love Hero Arts. Erin and Gretchen and May and Sandy, they're all wonderful, but this is a different price point. This is less. And this might make it available now to you where you couldn't get white and black inks like this before, because Heroes are a little bit more money. I want to say $4.99, $5.99, $6. I want to say they're between $2 and $3 more per item, and that might have taken it out of your price point. So we're going to play with these today for sure, and I think I'm going to start with I think I'm going to start here. So the collection is called Secret Garden, and I've got an anemone. Anemone. That's what this flower is. It's an anemone. I struggle with that, but okay. So we've got the full-size die. It's an A2 size die, and then we've got the full-size stamp. Now, why would you want to stamp and die? that are exactly the same? Well, you might not, but I'm gonna show you why I thought you would. So I'm gonna take this, and to be honest with you, the stamp's a little big for my block from Couture Creations. So I'm gonna use, drum roll please, I'm gonna use a Sizzix block. Well, it's not a block, it's cut pad. It's part of the, it's 6x6, it's part of the multi-pack. And I'm gonna put my stamp directly onto my cut pad, and I'm gonna use this as my block. Look at that. Now I'm not gonna stamp this way, I'm gonna stamp this way, but yeah, it works just like a block, right? Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Love that. And I am gonna ink it up with my black. I'm going to start with my black because we're gonna go very simple to begin with, and then we're gonna get a little more technique-y. But I have to imagine that some of you have never seen stamping before or die cutting before, or how easy it would be to color this in. Okay, so I'm inked up, and this is my color pad. Grab a piece of paper. I'm just using white 80-pound paper, and I'm gonna put it right on top of my stamp. I'm just gonna go shoop, and I'm gonna give a nice little back massage. Now this is my first time using this stamp, so my image may not be exactly perfect because there might be a little bit of film on the stamp that needs to come off. You are welcome to wash your stamp with some dishwashing detergent, mild dishwashing detergent, take an eraser to it, take a baby wipe to it, whatever works. And I'm just gonna give a nice little stamp, little press, a little pressure. Just giving a nice little back rub. Think we're good? Oh, I think we're good. Right? That's not bad. Let's do one more time. Just to see. Now the difference between this ink and the India ink, this ink does not stain your stamp. It does a little bit, but it's not as black as your India ink. India ink would stain the stamp like that, and it would be black, black, black. It does a little bit of staining, and the more you use the ink, the more your stamp will stain. And a stained stamp is not a bad stamp. For me, I like to have my stamp stained because then I can see what I'm doing. Ink up. Does that look good? And down we go. So drop and a little bit of a press. So if you've got India ink from Hero Arts, if you've got Memento ink also tends not to smear. You need to let that set a little bit more than Memento. Nice press, nice little back rub. Oh yeah, perfect. Love it. So I'm going to set that over there, and I might keep this one and use this one a little bit later on. Now we're going to do this easy peasy because I want you to see how easy it is to color this in. I don't want you to think that this is going to be a difficult thing to do at all, because it isn't. And really it's up to you if you want to go with markers straight to the paper, or if you want to palette paint. So I do have the opportunity, let me go in just a little bit more. I do have the opportunity to really just come in, and I'm using Violet Studios from Crafter's Companion, and I can just come in and color. It really can be that simple. These are not alcohol based. These are a water based marker. And I can come in and just color. And because my ink doesn't smear, I don't necessarily have to stay inside the lines. I don't want to go outside the border of my stamp, but I can certainly cross over the lines without it smearing. And that's an important thing when you're talking about ink and using markers. You don't want that ink to smear. And this is a water-based marker, a dye-based marker. So it's not going to give you quite the look of an alcohol ink marker, but it's very easy to use. Can I come in here and add a little bit of shading and shadow? I can. It's a little easier to do it with palette painting, but I can try. Let's see if I can find a pink that works. So the pack that we have is a 30 pack. It retails for $15. So, I mean, it's user-friendly, it's easy, and I think what I like about these markers is that usually you get that beautiful brush tip, but on the other side, it's usually a bullet tip. And on this time they've given you a secondary brush tip, which I think is very interesting. They've given you a small brush, which is usually a bullet tip, and they've given you a bigger brush. So I don't know if this color is going to make a difference. Oh yeah, I can put a little bit of that in. Just add a little bit of contour down below. And you just go in and color. Very relaxing, very easy, and the ink does not move. Put a little bit more down at the bottom, just so I have some shadow going on. So let me finish this one up really fast, and then we'll move on. But for those of you who are new to crafting, I don't want you to think that it has to be difficult. It doesn't. It can be this simple. And simple doesn't mean that it's not beautiful. And most important, simple does not mean that it's not handmade. When you're making something for somebody, that's the first thing that they love, is that it's handmade. What you don't see as perfect, they see as absolutely amazing. One, that you took the time to do this for them. Two, that you had the talent. They don't need to know that it was just a marker and that this was easy peasy mac and cheesy. You don't have to tell them. I won't tell them. And $15 markers, you get the 30 colors with the dual tip on both sides. So now you can kind of see the difference where I've added a little bit of shadow and where I haven't. And it's up to you whether you want to do that or not. You just come in at the bottom and add a little color. In fact, I think I'm going to use the broader tip. Add a little color down at the bottom, just so you have some depth perception in it. And no, these are not alcohol markers. I'm using a water-based marker similar to a Tombow. These are Violet Studio by Crafter's Companion. They do a great job and they're affordable. I think that's what really got me, was when you can get 30 of them for 15 bucks. Tombows are beautiful, beautiful pens, but they're anywhere from $2.70, depending on where you buy them and who has them on sale, all the way up to $3 and, I don't know, 60, 65 cents. So that's a big difference in how many you get. I mean, we're talking easy peasy mac and cheesy, right? So for those of you who are just starting, you see you don't have to be left out. You are part of the crafty world too. And maybe this is where you start. And a year from now, you will have evolved and changed and grown and learned and experienced and created. Done. So for those of you who are just starting, I could go in there and finish this and literally, man, go on an airplane, travel. You're traveling somewhere, you're going to visit friends, stamp, because my stamps are so big. And you see, it didn't meal up my paper. You're like, wait, what? But it's not an alcohol ink. If this was alcohol ink, it would have seeped all the way through. But my paper's not all mealy, not all bally up. And this is just 80-pound Simply Defined cardstock. So because the stamps are so big, you can stamp a whole bunch of these. You can put these out with the markers because the markers are inexpensive. You can let your seniors do them, your Boy Scouts, your Girl Scouts. You can take them to church and let them do it. Or if you're traveling and you just want to take a craft along with you, what an easy way to go. But this isn't the only way to use those markers. Let's put this off to the side. I also have the opportunity to do something called palette painting. And again, this is for the folks who have never seen palette painting before. And I need to pick a brush, and my dry brushes need to stay dry and my wet brushes need to stay wet. So maybe I will come in with this one. Dry needs to stay dry, wet needs to stay wet. So say that, dry needs to stay dry, wet needs to stay wet. And why don't we pick out, I'll pick out my yellow, because you know me, I'm a yellow girl. I like to start with yellow. And palette painting is easy. It's where you put a little bit of ink on your craft mat or a piece of glass or a piece of aluminum foil or anything that's non-porous. You could even use let me see if I can wipe that up. You can even use, since we're using them, I could even put some on my Sizzix cut plate and make that into a palette. Anything can be made into a palette. And then a little bit of water. So water on the side. I'm just gonna spritz some water. Let me go back just a little bit. So I've spritzed some water, right? Am I still not there? Let me go down. I've spritzed some water right here. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick up some water and add it to my yellow, making it into pretty much a paint. And then I can come in here and paint. And look at how easy peasy is that. The nice thing about palette painting is that you can shade your color by the amount of water that you use. The more water that you dilute that color down with, the lighter that hue is going, or that saturation is going to be. So I think I'm just going to use this one yellow, put a little bit more, a little bit of water, spritz, pick it up with my paintbrush, blend it into my ink, and then come paint. And again, my ink is not moving. It's not smearing. See, this is a little bit lighter because I added a little bit more water. And as long as I stay within the lines, or close to the lines at least, I'm good. Okay. So palette painting. But then I can go in and I can really darken everything if I want. If I put some of my yellow down, but I use very, very little water and pick up that yellow, I can come in and start to build depth of color. And because it's the same color, the same yellow, you know it's going to blend beautifully. It's a tone on tone on tone. And I can come in and add color. A little bit of water. And really get that dark yellow down towards the bottom. Kind of blend it on out. But I can also then add other colors because it's being diluted with water. So now I've got a little bit darker, but what if I wanted to add a totally different color? I don't know, the red's awful red, but you know what? No guts, no glory. God loves a trier, so we're gonna try. A little bit of water, and let's pick up the red. And I'm just gonna test up here my color. What if I came down? And just put a little bit of red coming down. So I've got a very diluted red. And I'm pulling the water off my brush so it almost becomes a dry brush as I get closer to the bottom. Kind of letting me blend it on in. So I've got that base of yellow, and now I'm adding some red to give some more definition. And what if I wanted it a little bit darker red at the top? What if I wanted it to be even a little bit darker so that the contrast is even more? Use less water. I'm still going to take it off my brush to blend it down, but I used less water, and now my red is even more saturated. So you may start coloring with the straight colors and kind of going over like I did in the beginning, but you may end up closer to here. All you have to do is try. And all you have to do is remember, it's only paper. Paper and your time. And it's not even a full sheet of white paper. It's a half sheet of white paper. Less water is better because that lets you move the ink and use it as a paint. And it dramatically changes. You look like a rock star. You did it. Looks like you cooked a souffle. They're going to look at you and go, wow. And only you knew that it really was very, very, very simple. It was a little bit of a marker and some water, white paper, and your time. So you decide, is it this? Is it this? What makes your heart happy? You get to do both. But then you're like, well, why do I need the die then? I've got it all done and I'm happy with it. You don't if you want to just stamp. But the die is kind of convenient to have because let's say you wanted to, let's move this there, wipe it off. I wasn't planning on using it as my palette, but it worked. Let's grab that die. Wet brush needs to stay wet, so I'm gonna put that by the water. Remind me where I put it, because I'm gonna go looking for it, no doubt. let's grab my die. It's a full A2 size die, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, yay. Fits the stamp perfectly, and I'm gonna grab a piece of my Simply Defined metallic satin, although it's more gloss than it is satin, cardstock. We have very little of this left, and when it is gone, it is gone. So, shipping paper has become a very expensive hobby. And I don't mean shipping it to you, I mean getting it here to me. So I'm going overseas, I'm going to Germany, I'm gonna talk to a few of our manufacturers and see what we can do, see if I can negotiate a little bit. Now I have my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and I am gonna use a chrome precision base plate. I am. It's an intricate die. There's a lot of fine lines going on there. So I am gonna use my chrome precision base plate. So my sandwich is my base plate that comes with my Big Shot machine. It is my solo shim that comes with my Big Shot machine. It is my chrome precision base plate that does not come with my Big Shot machine. It's sold separately. I want the directions facing down. I don't want to be able to read them. I've got my die on my paper, my ridges of my die facing down against my paper, and I'm gonna put it at a slight angle because the die is a rectangle, and if I have the front of the die hit the roller and it's parallel to each other, it kind of makes a ka-thump. So I'm just gonna rotate it, and what happens is the die feeds into that roller a little differently. And then, I don't know, maybe I use one of my bigger plates because I'm on, let's use a regular plate. And I'm gonna sandwich it on through. Now the precision base plate is meant for intricate dies. You don't want to use an open frame die like a big open circle or a big open square. That's gonna warp your die. I'm gonna take a look and see if it looks like it's cut. I think I'm gonna send it back through one more time. I'm just gonna do a quick rotate, send it back. And see how we did. So if you've got intricate dies and you are struggling, a precision base plate becomes your new best friend. It is absolutely a game changer when it comes to intricate dies. And more dies are getting more and more intricate. I remember when I started manufacturing dies, I had Sizzix manufacturing them for me, and there were many designs that I wanted to do that they told me they would not because they were just too intricate. But now technology has caught up. I still did them anyway. I just said, I'll take responsibility for it. But now technology has caught up, and more manufacturers are able to do far more intricate dies than they did before. And it's like the more pieces fall out, the more detail you get into it. So we've got my black, all the little bits and pieces out, because we've got Ellie, our little doggy who comes to work every day. She's the SMS mascot. I'm gonna do my best to get most of this into the trash can. Before it was like, we'll vacuum. Not anymore. Now it's like, I can do it. I know I can. You guys worry about palette painting and using markers, and I worry about, will I get it in the trash can? All right, I think we're good. I think we've got most of it out. Okay, so here, there's the die all on its own. Pretty. Yes, absolutely. Put that there. Wish me luck. I brought the trash can closer to me. Push it all down. And in honor of Ellie, that was like almost 100%. So here I've got all my pieces. Now I can come back. And I can layer it right on top of my stamp set. It matches identical. So if you want to stamp and then color, so you know where you're coloring, you know what to color, then you come back and you could have cut this in any color and layer it straight on top. Some of the girls, they liked it at a slight offset. And then you've got this beautiful finished piece. Yeah, some of the girls, I think they did some of theirs on a kind of an offset. Up to you. But having the stamp tells you what to color, where to color, and then you decide if you want to die cut on top of it. Maybe I did this in a gold. Maybe I did this in a beautiful matte black. Maybe I did it in a glitter, a soft glitter black. Whatever it is you want to do. But it does hide a few of the little oopses if you go outside the line. Absolutely hides that away and finishes the piece off beautifully. Your choice to stamp and die cut, to just die cut and color that way, maybe just do a whole wash on the background and then put your die on top of it, to stamp only. Difference is you have options. And again, this is just using markers. We're going to move on to the Pearlex because the Pearlex is beautiful. So what is Pearlex? It is a mica powder. It is made by Jacquard. I would have never found them if I hadn't gone to NAMTA, which is a fine art show. It's now Creativation and NAMTA. Not sure if I'm going this year. We haven't made a final determination yet. Something happened last year that was not okay, and I'm not sure if I'm okay. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna wait and see how I feel the closer we get to it, and then I'll make a decision if we're gonna go or not. But there was an event that happened, and it really was very upsetting for me. So I'm not sure I want to put myself back in a place where somebody has the opportunity to hurt my feelings. I'm just not sure yet. So if I do go, it would be because our manufacturers really appreciate the Live from Creativation. And we'll just have to see how I feel when it gets closer, and that's in April. But I did go last year, and I did find Jacquard, and I did meet Asher, and the Pearlex is really just absolutely beautiful. It is a mica powder, very similar to a Ranger Perfect Pearl or Aussie Andrews mica powders, or even Creative Expressions mica powders. The difference between these and all of those is that this is 100% pigment. Normally, a mica powder that you buy, like from Ranger, has got what's called gum arabic mixed into the powder. So gum arabic, when you think of it as a powdered glue. That's how you think of gum arabic. It is a powdered glue. So Ranger's Perfect Pearl, Aussie Andrews mica powders, Creative Expressions mica powders, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. But the gum arabic is already mixed into the powder, slightly diluting the color of the powder. You can't get, people have always said, but I want a really great pink, or I want a really great red. And that's hard to do when you've got the gum arabic mixed in, because you're using less pigment. You've got to balance. You've only got so much room in a container, and you've got to have so much gum arabic to so much of the mica so that the gum arabic will use as a binder. You know, it's a binder for all intents and purposes. Gum arabic, you're putting in breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs into your meatloaf or your meatballs. It's used as a binder to hold it together. So you have to have enough gum arabic mixed in with the pigment to make sure that it holds and it uses that as a binder. With the Perfect Pearl and the Aussie Andrew Couture Creations mica and the Creative Expressions, once you use it, because it's mixed in, you usually do a light mist of water over your project and it sets. That's how it works. And that would be the same here. The difference is you have the opportunity to mix in as much gum arabic as you need to as much of your pure pigment. The colors are amazing. They're absolutely glorious. And because it's 100% pigment, you're paying for, this is where the money is. This is where the product is in these little jars. This is relatively inexpensive. I think this jar is a little over $3. Each of these are about $3. But because you get to mix yourself, you're getting more value for your money with these as opposed to something that's pre-mixed. So I'm going to use these today, and we're going to use them in a couple different ways. We're going to use them in a way that needs the gum arabic, and we're going to use it in a way that doesn't. And when we get to the end, I'm going to use this in a traditional manner, how most people use these mica powders, but then I'm going to use them in a way that you might not have thought about. And so let me start. Let me get these. I've got 52 colors of these. Now we do have sets. We sold the sets before, and the sets, there's 3 sets, I believe, 3 or 4 sets, and the sets have most of the colors, but we do have a new I Want It All on these where there's 20 colors that we've never sold before and did not come in any of the sets. So if you are looking to get all the colors, then, and you already have the sets, then you're gonna want that I Want It All 20 pack. So let me put these over here, and I'm gonna take out my stamp. I'm gonna play with my bird. So you've got the bird and you've got the die that's going to go over the top. And I'm gonna use the stamp. I'm gonna bring over my Sizzix cut plate because my stamp is too big. It's a little bit bigger than, put that on there so they can't see I lost it. It's a little bit too big for my block that I have from Couture Creations. So I'm just gonna make do. With a 6x6 cut pad from Sizzix. I've got my stamp, I've got my die. Keep my liner. Keep my carrier. And you can see it's almost, like I said, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Takes up your whole card front, or you can cut it down and you can use just pieces of it. Now I'm going to use my Essentials glue pad because I'm going to use the Pearlex in a way that is typical, what you would normally expect to see. And I'm going to need some black paper, so let's grab a sheet of black. And I think I can put my markers away for right now. I'm going to use my Essentials glue pad. When you buy your glue pad, it is sold like this. This is not a re-inker. That is the glue. Your glue pad is going to come to you dry. There'll be absolutely, there'll be absolutely nothing on this foam. It'll just be dry. And you take your glue and you only put down enough for the application that you're doing. You never take this whole glue pad and put it all on here and then come back 2 months later and wonder why you can't use it. No, you only use as much glue as you need for the application that you're doing. It has the little clear topper that you want to keep onto it. Mine is wow. And you don't buy the pad again and again. When you run out of the little glue bottle, you just buy the glue bottle. What makes this glue different? It is a 2-way glue, not a standard glue. So it will glue 2 things together. It will, but it's more important that it allows you to use different types of powders and mediums to hold down. glitter and Pearlex. So I put a little Z in there and I kind of smooshed it around with my finger. And I'm going to glue up my stamp. The glue is water soluble, so it's not going to hurt your stamp. And the way you clean your stamp is just by a baby wipe or washing it in your sink with some dishwashing detergent. Glue is not harmful to the stamp. You think I got enough? Okay, let's give it a whirl. Worst case scenario, I turn the back of my black paper over because paper has two sides. All right, I'm gonna put my black paper over the top. And I'm gonna give a nice little rub. Just a little rub, it doesn't have to be hard. You're not trying to do chest compressions or give it a back massage. You're trying to give it a back massage. You just need that paper to make contact with the stamped image so that it transfers that glue. Looks good. Can you see it? So the glue has transferred, and now I need to let it go tacky. It is the time in your life. If you've ever wanted to be tacky, it is now. I don't want to use this too soon. I need that glue to slightly dry to go tacky. And the glue will stay like this until I put something over the top of it. Once it goes tacky, you will need to put something over the top of this. You can easily you want to give it a few minutes, or you want to waft it. It's never going to completely dry until you put something over the top. So you either want to walk away from this or do another one and let this have a few minutes to go tacky, but you can absolutely run and go grab a cup of coffee. You can go chat with a friend. You can go answer an email. You can go order some product and come back and it will still be ready to use. Now, some of you have a hard time seeing this because I am able to get a reflection. That's how you're able to see the image. But if you're looking straight at it down below, you can't necessarily see where I'm trying to get it without a reflection, where everything is. So, for those of you who have a little trouble, this is one of the places where the white pad comes in, and it's very, very, very handy. I'm gonna take my white pad and I'm gonna ink up my stamp, and I'm just gonna do a little bit. I don't need to do too much. So I'm just gonna ink it with some white. And then I'm gonna come back with my glue pad over the top. Is that gonna harm my glue pad? Absolutely not. Put a little bit more on top. Now your glue pad will eventually build a nice little base of glue. So you don't need, you don't need too much because you've already got a nice little base of glue going on. And now I'm going to come in over the top of my white and add a little bit of glue on top of my white. Now that white is a pigment-based ink, so it's sitting on top of my stamp. And it's not moving as I add my glue because it is a pigment-based ink. Okay, I think I've got my glue everywhere. My pad is just fine. Off. And now I can bring over my black paper and let's transfer the image again. For those of you who are like me, getting a little bit older and it's a little bit harder to see like I used to, Reading a menu is probably one of the most challenging things. I don't go out to dinner very often. It could be because I don't want to have to face reading that menu. I get my phone out, I turn it to picture, I look at the menu and then I blow it up. So this is a good way to be able to see what it is you're working with. Little bit of a hand rub right here, right on top of back massage. And I'm on my Sizzix, which if you don't have blocks, man, this is an inexpensive way to get some blocks. That is for sure. Think we're good? And now I can see my impression. Now it's not white, white, white. This ink will go white, 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 but I didn't add very much to my stamp. And on top of it, I put glue. So now it's up to you. Which can you see better? They're both going to do the same thing. But if this is a struggle for you, look at this. If this is the only reason you get the white ink, so that it makes it easier for you to see. We're selling it as a bundle the first go round, but eventually it will be open stock again. But even the bundle at 15 bucks, if that is the reason you get the white ink and the re-inker, I think you'll be really happy with it. Now I need to let this one go tacky, and I've got my stamp, and I'm just gonna grab some baby wipes. The ink and the glue are not gonna harm my stamp at all. Even if you left it there and you let it sit there overnight, have no fear. Water is here. It will be just fine. There's nothing abrasive about the glue or the ink that's going to cause harm to your stamp. It's a water-based glue and a pigment-based ink. And we're done. So let me put that over there. Now let me take the first one that I have, and we're gonna do this just typical as if you were using Pearlex in one of the most typical way that people use it. And so I'm going to get, this is where I struggle because I have such beautiful colors and they make my heart happy. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take maybe this one. I don't know. So normally you would want to add your gum arabic, because gum arabic is what? Powdered glue. It's a binder. It's the breadcrumbs that hold your meatballs together. It's the cornstarch that helps make the curd for your lemon meringue pie. But because we used glue to stamp with, we don't need the gum arabic right now. No, no, no. We can take our Pearlex, and a little goes a long way with this. And remember what I said, dry brush dry, wet brush wet. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of dust it where I see my lines of my bird. A little goes, now it's not wet, this is a powder. A little goes a long way. And then maybe I want to change my color so you can see it adhering to. Maybe I want to change my color. And let's get into some of this blue. a little bit in there so I can pick it up. A little bit of blue. And then maybe we pick up some of this. What is this? I don't know what color this is. Well, it's pretty. We're going to try it. And I'm just going to dust it in. So I'm painting, but I'm not using any water at all. None. Zero. Zippo. Okay. So I can see my bird starting to come to life. Now let's grab some, maybe some brown. How about something dark? Dark, 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 dark. Dark, dark, dark. What color is this? Is this dark, 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 dark? Oh, that's silver. I don't want silver. Dark, dark, dark. Ooh, copper. Do I not have copper? Bronze. Copper, bronze. Copper, bronze. Let's go with copper. Yum. Can you see that color? Is it gonna zoom in? Oh, I don't know. That color is intense. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. It's got this shimmer that is just amazing. Take a little bit, just put it in the lid. And again, I'm still on a dry brush. And let's come in and do the branch. Okay, and where else do I have some branches? A little branch right there and right there. And I got a couple little branches over here, maybe. Maybe a little branch down here. Okay, so I'm just adding some color. And now let's do the big flowers. What color do you want to do in those? Do we want to just keep to the gold and the reds? So I take maybe a little of my gold and drop it in and kind of move it around. And a little bit of my red and drop it in and move it around. And I am literally just painting. And anywhere I can see that I've got a flower, I'm adding my color. So this is how most people would use a mica powder. And then let's grab a little bit of my green maybe. Let's grab a little bit of my green, put my blue back together, and let's fill in the leaves. Now everywhere I can see a little leaf, I'm going to add a little bit of green. So So I see leaves right there. And I'm not pressing hard. I'm just dropping some powder. And the image comes up. Anywhere I see a little bit. Now some of my colors are going to blend together a little bit. Okay, I think I've got enough on there. To where now I can close up my tubs because I know me. It will be everywhere. Can you see how long these little ones will last? Now I can take my inexpensive makeup brush and I can kind of swirl it all around so that every place gets some mica, whether it's the right color or not, and then I can brush it off. And the thing is, because I used glue, look, Ma, no mess, right? Now that is much better than M&Ms, I guarantee you. And it's dry. This is the typical way that most would use a Pearlex, a perfect pearl, a mica powder. But having it, some will have you do Versamark and put Versamark down, stamp with a Versamark, and then come in and do your powder. But again, then you have to spritz it because you've got to set that gum arabic. You've got to activate that glue, whether you've mixed it with your own Pearlex or you're using a perfect pearl. You've got to activate that glue. But if you start with glue, hello, why not just make, yes, the wheel has already been invented, but maybe we could round it just a little bit more, make it a little bit easier to roll if we start with just the glue. Why add an extra step when you don't have to? And it's beautiful. But then remember, we have this one here, and you can see it's so much better. Will it behave the same way? Of course it will. It's got the glue down there. Maybe I use a slightly bigger brush so it doesn't take me slightly as long. And I won't do the whole thing, but I will do some of it at least. Let's try the bronze this time for the bush. And now I can clearly see where my branches and where I can clearly see where all of that is. So I can be very specific about where I put my colors. When it was black, it was a little harder to see. But now that I've got the white undertow on it, are you going to be able to see the white coming through? No. But can you see your image a little bit easier? Yeah. So I can add some of this here and there and everywhere that I kind of see a little something that would need it. So much easier to see. And I can see where to put my green. What color do I want to make my bird? How about we go here? Ooh, this is yellow, bright yellow. Yay for bright yellow. Maybe I do put that there. And then maybe I come over here and let's get some flamingo pink. Again, typical ways to use this product. Nothing new, nothing revolutionary. But maybe the white helps just a little bit to see what it is you need to see. Some of these colors are just magic. And maybe it's a very colorful bird. And because I have all the colors, it's like having all the colors in the crayon box. I was that girl. I needed all the colors in the crayon box. I might not use all the colors in the crayon box, but it was important to me to have all the colors. Okay, so I'm going to let that be. And some of these are interference colors, some of these are duo colors, where you get 2 colors for the price of 1. And you just never know what you're going to get until you're done. But the beautiful thing is, it's just paper. No, I want brighter. Let's go back to our yellow. Hello, yellow. Let's see if I can get some of that yellow in there. I'm going to make it a little brighter. And I'm not using any water at all. But I can clearly see where my flowers are. I can clearly see where my leaves are. And in no time at all, you can be done. It's not messy. It doesn't get all over your hands. And your colors are simply fabulous. Does it look like you foiled? Yes, it does. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I've got enough on there that I can now take my mop brush and kind of gather it all up and move it all around. Yes, your colors are going to blend a little bit. I just want to make sure that I hit every place that had sticky exposed. And then you go. And bam. Now remember, there was white underneath here. With, without makes no difference. The only thing that it helps is it helps you to see your design using that white ink and then putting a little bit of the glue on top of the white ink on your stamp and stamping. But both are absolutely beautiful. Would I use the die to go over this? No, because then you're going to hide all that beautiful work you just did. Beautiful. You've got this. One of the easiest ways to use this product. Let's move on. So let me take and pull this off. And let's move to our next one. So far, what have we done? We started out super easy. First thing I did is I just colored with the markers. Just colored with the markers, straight to the paper. Then I palette painted straight to the paper, and then I die cut to show you that you can come in over the top and add that bit of dimension and that bit of flair right over the top with your die cuts. Could I have done it with embossing powder? Yes, I don't think you would get quite the same look. But since you have the die and you have the stamp, enjoy it. And if you are just a stamper, can I trim these out and mount them? Absolutely, without question. I could have come in here and I could have used, let's say this one. If I didn't want that white background, I could have come in here and used my blue marker. To get rid of all the white background and just used my marker. And just colored. Before you know it, you've colored your background so it's not white anymore. So that when you lay your image over the top, it looks complete. All right, but I got off track. I so want to finish this one. Does it matter if I go outside the lines? No, because I'm going to cut them off. And these are not alcohol markers. I'm just coloring with a dye-based dual tip. Look at how good that's starting to look. Yeah, I'm just going to cut that up. I'm just going to cut this off. All right, so that's where we started. Then we moved to here, showing it with just the glue pad or the glue pad and a little bit of white ink, white pigment ink from Jacquard, their new color pad, which used to be Clear Snap Color Box product, yay. And now we're gonna move on to here, the butterfly. I'm gonna stick with black paper for a little bit. We're gonna end on white paper, I think. But for this one, I think I'm going to stick with black paper. So again, I've got my die, my butterfly die, and my butterfly stamp. And let's bring over my what I'm using is my block. Turn all of these over so I can see my color better. Organize myself a little bit here. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, this one's beautiful. Okay. This one's beautiful. Okay. Decisions, decisions. So let's put my stamp on my block. I'm going to use my white ink. And black paper. And let's do 2 of them. Why? Because we can. So my white ink and maybe I will really ink this up. This is the first time I'm stamping with this, so I should have stamped off. All right, let's see what I get. I've really inked it up. Nice back massage. Now, if you have a stamp positioner, boy, is that going to be helpful. And there it is stamped. Told you that white ink is beautiful. That is a white ink. Lovely, right? I'm going to put that to the side. We might use that. I'm going to ink up a little bit. This time I don't need to use as much. So I'm just going to ink the whole thing, but I'm not going to make it as white. I don't need to use as much ink. Because I'm just trying to, ooh, I'm close. I'm just trying to transfer the image as opposed to making a fully white, beautiful stamp. I mean, that looks great. And it dries quickly. It is a pigment-based ink, so it's not going to dry as fast as a dye-based ink. Remember, the way to know your dry times on your inks is if you know your ABCs. If you know your A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs all the way to Z, you can remember the dry time of ink. A stands for alcohol. Alcohol ink dries the fastest. Copic markers, Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers, Spectrum Noir markers, those dry faster than anything else. Then you have C, chalk-based ink, which Clear Snap Color Box had the best collection of chalk-based inks ever. I don't know if he's going to do chalk-based inks. That might be a thing. So chalk-based inks is close to A, so it dries almost as fast as an alcohol ink. D stands for dye-based inks. Dye-based inks are close to C, but not as close to A as C. So dye-based inks dry a little bit, takes a little bit more time than a chalk ink, but they're right next to each other, C and D. They dry pretty quickly together. Your A is going to dry the first, your fastest, alcohol. C is the next letter in the alphabet for chalk, dries the second fastest. D is for dye-based ink, dries the third fastest, but this is a pigment-based ink. D and P are a long way away in the alphabet. That means your pigment-based ink is going to dry the slowest. It's going to take the longest. Now, I didn't ink this up as much as this one because I wanted the softer look. I'm going to do something with this one. This one I wanted it to be bright and happy. This one I kind of wanted it to be softer because we're going to do something with this. So when you are out looking for inks in your local independent mom and pop craft store, and you're not sure, do you need a dye-based ink? Do you need a pigment-based ink? What are you going to do with it? Dye-based inks are perfect for stamping and coloring and all sorts of things like that. That's the most common ink. Maybe that's the ink you need. Maybe you want to use embossing powder with it. Then you need an ink that's going to take a long time to dry so you're able to get that embossing powder over the top of it. What's the longest ink to dry? What's the furthest letter in the alphabet? P, pigment-based inks. So if you know your ABCs, you know your dry times for inks. A for alcohol, the fastest. C for chalk, almost as fast. D for dye-based ink, which is right next to chalk-based ink. They dry almost the same. And then P is way down the road. Now, people ask about hybrid inks. Hybrid inks. Everybody's hybrid ink is a little bit different. And I don't know that any one hybrid ink does the same as the next hybrid ink. So I really don't put those into the equation because, well, they're a little, everybody's hybrid ink, what they call a hybrid. Some really are and some not so much. So I don't want to confuse you with that. Now I do need to let this dry for a minute because, well, what did I say? Pigment-based inks take a longer time to dry. We're close. I'm going to waft it just a second, and the whiter the ink is, the longer it's going to take it to dry because it's sitting on top of my paper as opposed to being absorbed into my paper. That's how it's able to be white on black paper. If it was absorbed into my paper, the color would just absolutely disappear. Dye-based. It absorbs into the paper. It's gone. Can't even see it. Pigment-based. Sits on top of the paper. Dye is gone, pigment is there. Most of your metallic inks are a pigment-based ink because it needs to sit on top of the paper as opposed to being absorbed in. Now, you think I've given that enough time? I think so. Let's give it a whirl. And I'm going to cut that top piece off just so I don't get it all over me. So what am I going to do with this now that I've got it? Let's play with the Pearlex again, only this time, instead of using it as a dry powder like we did here, we are going to get it wet. So we are going to need to have our gum arabic because we do want that glue to adhere, to make it adhere down to what we're doing. We do need to use the gum arabic. So let's see, what colors do I want to start with? Maybe I start with the purple. The purple's really pretty. Do I want the purple? Yeah, the purple? Okay, let's try. What's the worst that can happen? Or do I do it in the golds and the reds? Golds and reds? You all are screaming at me, just pick one. But it's very hard for me because they're so beautiful. I'm gonna go here, and maybe I'll go here, and maybe a pearl. That's micro pearl. Let's see what micro pearl does. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my red, and I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna take a little bit of it out. Sticky, not too much, just a little bit of it out, and put it down. And then I'm gonna take my gum arabic, because this is 100% powder. If I get this wet right now and paint with it, and then once it dries, rub my hand over it, it will be all over my hand because it did not have a glue foundation. We want, look Ma, no mess. If I don't add that gum arabic to it, it will just wipe away. Now, because you're doing it yourself, just a little scoop of gum arabic. It's not a lot. It's just a binder. So you can imagine how long this is gonna last. And then a little bit of water. And then I'm gonna mix them together. And I'm gonna make a paint. Now, the more powder you use, you can make it more pasty. The more water you use, the more liquidy it's going to be. Ooh, and then I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna follow my white lines. Wherever my white lines are, I'm gonna move my brush in that direction. Wherever my white lines are, I'm just gonna move my brush in that direction. Turning it around because it's easier for me to whip this way. Whatever direction my lines go in, that's the direction my paintbrush goes in. need a little more water. Shoop. A little more water. Make a little more paint. Okay, I think I'm good. What is she doing? I'm gonna make it look beautiful with absolutely zero amount of talent at all. I'm gonna look like a fine artist because I'm using fine art quality product. That's what makes, when people talk about fine art quality product, they're not talking about the talent of the person, they're talking about the quality of the product. So, I don't know if I'm gonna love this gold or if I'm not gonna love this gold, but we're gonna use this gold and I'm gonna take a little bit out. We have Cal Arts down the street from us. Those are immensely talented people. To get into Cal Arts, wow. I don't think my cute little butterfly would get me there, but you know what? Art is art. And this is my art, a little bit of gum Arabic. In fact, I probably have too much gold. I could have used less. But you can imagine if I'm using just this little bit amount, and I'm gonna clean my brush because it's got red, russet red as a matter of fact. Now, is my brush gonna be completely clean? No. Am I gonna live with it? Yes, because I'm blending anyway. A little bit of water, make my paint. A little bit more water, a little too pasty for me. And I'm gonna wash, rinse, and repeat. Now, I'm not trying to like hide every little white spot. I'm just trying to build some of my color. And I'm just following the lines of the stamp. The stamp tells you what to do, where to go. Well, if it tells you where to go, I hope it was nice. So I just keep adding water. I do want to take it a little bit maybe further than I'm supposed to because I'm going to cut it off. And I can go back into my red up here if I want to add a little bit more red. Okay, now there's the pearl. Do we do it or not? Speak now. Do we add the pearl or do we not? Go for it. Is that what I heard you say? All right. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. We'll see what color we get. I'm about done with the red here, so I'm just gonna nix that so I have room for my pearl. Same thing, a little bit of pearl. Wow, is that sparkly, shiny, glittery. I don't think this is pearl. I think that this is shiny, shiny, happy. Maybe that's what it should be called. Happiness. Little bit of my Pearlex, or my gum Arabic. Mix. Water. Shoop. Okay, I have no idea what we're going to get. Drum roll. Wow. That color is magic, and it's a color that's not even a color. I can come back in with my gold a little bit. And I can do my body maybe in a little bit of gold. All I've done is go whip, 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 whip. Sound effects required, everybody. Whip, 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 whip. And maybe I try and draw on a little bit of my antenna. Just so it's kind of there. Wow, that's pretty. And you're going, yeah, okay, but I lost the butterfly. What happened to the butterfly? Oh, no, you didn't. We did not lose the butterfly. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Oh, no, you didn't. Anybody who knows I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo. Oh, Lucy. Okay, is it dry? Oh, feels pretty good. Now, if we hadn't added that gum arabic, what would happen? It would be all over my hands. It would just whoosh, whoosh, wipe away, whoosh. We don't want whoosh. We want the dye. Hello. Hello, beautiful thing, you, who's gonna make everything just come together in a pretty little package with a beautiful bow on top of it that says, oh, I like it. Okay, over there. So you can see why I had to have all 52 colors. And I really do have all 52 colors. It's shameful. But they're $3 each, and I know, and maybe you get maybe you buy 6 at a time, but man, they make your heart happy. The interference colors are gorgeous. So what's an interference color? Okay, wait, before I do this, let me show you what an interference color is. Let me grab a little piece of black, and let's see. This is interference green. I don't know what that is. That was the one I just used, the micro pearl. Interference red. Interference violet. That's the pearl white. Oh, interference blue. Okay, so just so you know what interference colors do. Just a little bit out. A little bit of my, I mean, we're talking a little bit. Can you see that? That's a little bit of my gum arabic. So the gum arabic is what you're going to run out of first, because it's the one thing you use every time you use a color, no matter what color you use if you're getting it wet. That's why the jar is so big. But when you're talking about 100% pure pigment, you use such a little bit of every of the color. That's what interference does. It's not white. No, no, no. It's amazing. Let's try the violet. It's violet. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Okay, where's that from? Come on, come on, come on. Yes. Yes, Willy Wonka, one of my most favorite movies. Okay. And a little bit of gum arabic. Have I got that out of the screen? Let me see where a little bit of gum arabic. Come on. So up here, is that out of the screen? I can't tell if you can see that or not. I'm gonna guess that you can. Ooh, I made a lot. A little bit of water. Blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so those are what interference colors do, and there's several of them. Oh, rock star, right? Oh, so pretty. But I digress away from what I'm supposed to be doing. Interference. Beautiful. Starts as, looks like it's a white powder, but when you put it on black, it is holy smokes artichokes. Okay, let me clean up my mess because we got to get back to what I was going to do, which was die cut. All right. So let's put that there. Wet stays wet, dry stays dry. Wet stays wet, dry stays dry. So you don't want to do this with a wet brush. It isn't going to happen. You need a dry brush to do this, but for this, you need a wet brush. Keep your wet brush wet and your dry brush dry. It's important. And your lid's on. That's important too. And I turn them upside down, which makes it even more important that the lid be on, because I can see the color. I can see the color this way. I can't see the color this way. So I keep mine upside down. It's a powder. It's perfectly fine. Pearlex was a product that, it was a product I wanted and looked for, and my gosh, because I just knew there had to be more colors. I just didn't know that there was this many colors, and that when I did get them, they'd be 100% pigmented, letting you really get the most out of them, the most intense colors. You can always water it down or always use enough gum arabic to tone it down, but when you want that intense color, 100% pigment is where you need to go. So I'm going to cut my butterfly. And out. I didn't put it on an angle. Out. Okay. So let's just rotate it just to make sure every last little piece cut out. And let's see what we've got. Now, did I have to use black paper? No, you can use whatever paper you want. All my little bits and pieces fall out. This is a very linear die, meaning the lines are very straight. There's not a lot of cross hatching, which really, for die cutting, that's what you want to do most of. You want to have several planes where the die can cut. This is a very linear die, and it makes it a little more difficult to manufacture and cut, but I wanted what I wanted. So here it is. Linear dies have a little bit more trouble because there's nothing on that cross to help cut it. There's no pressure on that cross to cut it. I've learned so much about die cutting over the years. And I've learned that, you know, with the right design, I can really stretch and really take risks and still make it work. I just have to understand the process. All right, so here's my die, which on its own is a beautiful die. On its own, it's a beautiful die. But kind of line up where we want to be. And it makes the butterfly. So let's get it down. Let's see, do I want it? I want it right there, I think. So I'm gonna bring over my sticky dots and we're gonna put this down. Sticky dots are a sheet of hundreds of thousands of dots. It's meant for intricate dies. That's what we use it for. There's 10 sheets to a pack. They're 8.5 or 8 by 10 in size. $10.99. Where you see the black paper, the sticky dots are adhering. Where you see nothing, the sticky dots are staying behind. So you use it again and again. Probably, besides my husband and my children and my dog, one of the best things I've ever done was do sticky dots. And it changes how you put down your intricate dies. It is, has been, and will continue to be a game changer. Are we the only ones to have them? No, wah. But I did have them before everybody copied for quite some time. So let's see, where do I want it? No, I want it this way. And then let's trim off all the noise. Everything around it is what I call noise. Let's just get rid of it. What do you think? I went whoosh, 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 whoosh. That's what I did. I went whoosh, whoosh, and whoosh, whoosh. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Right? I have this one. It's dry. What if I took, ooh, I feel like mad scientist with these. What if I took, I know you're here. Where are you? What if I took, is it that the color I want? That? Or, oh, no. I want this one. And where's that dark purple? Anybody seen what I did with that dark purple? Is that the dark purple? I don't think that's the dark, well, you know what? We're gonna try it anyway. What's the worst it can do? Let's do this one really, really, really fast. So, wet brush wet, dry brush dry. That one's wet. Let's take a little bit of this out, add a little bit of gum arabic, and I'm just gonna go super fast. So, powder, ooh, too much, but that's okay. I tend to put out too much. Gum arabic. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. water, blend, come on powder, let's see, take a little bit off my brush, and let's go follow my lines. So this one's a little more translucent in color. I'm just following my lines. A little bit more water, shoot. A little bit more powder. Okay, one down. Let's move on to my next color. Ooh, let's move on to my next color. Let's see what we get. Oh my gosh. A little bit of color. There, I used less, and I still have tons. So far I've used the white and the black pad, but I really haven't used it for what most people use it for, which is stamping. I'm covering the stamp that I did up with it. I'm using it as a guide. I'm using it as a tool. Okay, that's just beautiful. Asher, yum. Asher is the owner of Jacquard. He stands like 6'4", if not taller. Oh, maybe this is too close. I think that blue is too close to the purple, but we're gonna leave it in there anyway, and let's add something else. Let's add something, let's add the yellow. A little bit of yellow. You really do feel like you're a mad scientist when you play with these. A little bit of my spritz. So I don't spritz directly on it because I don't want it to go psh. Once I get it wet, then I can spritz on it. But I don't want it to go psh when I get it, when I spritz it. See how it'll go psh when I don't want that. Nope, it's gonna have to be more intense. And maybe I tap in a little bit of some gold. Blending colors, I told you, mad scientist. Water, blend. Once I've got a little bit of a pasty, then I can add some more water to it. But I don't want it to spray everywhere. I don't want it to go everywhere. I think that's gonna be darker. Oh yeah. better. Maybe a little more blue. Now I'm just blending colors. Now I'm just mixing things together. All right, what do you think? Yeah, we're good? Get a little carried away. All right, I'm gonna call it done. It's wet, but it'll dry. Let's die cut real quick and then we're gonna move on. That kind of made my heart sad to do that, just so you know. Let's take and die cut and then let's move on. Bring over my machine, make sure my lids are on. Die cut a butterfly. And then we're gonna move on to the last one. And on that one, I'm gonna change it up. Oh, see, I didn't put it on an angle. A little bit of a ka-thump. Cracks and creaks, not to worry about, they're normal, means it's die cutting. And bam. All my little bits and pieces come out. For Ellie's sake, I make it into the trash can. Maybe that is why Michael wanted Ellie so much. He knew that I would start trying to aim. We were given a dog. She had to be surrendered, and we got her at 10 months. She's just a hair bit over a year now. We've had her for a couple months, and she's as darling as can be. So I can decide where I want it to be. I can move my frame where I want it to be. It's up to me how I want it to line up. All up to me. So once I find the body, then I can kind of tweak it whatever way works best for me. I think that looks good. So let's grab some sticky dots and let's get it down, cut it out, and move on. Good press. This is 80-pound paper. It's Simply Defined black. I have 80-pound and 100-pound, white and black. This time I left the body white, so I'm going to line it up with the body. Down, and then cut off all the extra, and you're done. Man, you could make so many of these so quickly, and you could have used any of the stamps in this set to do this with. You just go in there and kind of flick your color around, color in your flowers, color in your bird. And in the end, you look like a rock star. You do look really good when you do this. It comes out so pretty, but we have to move on. Okay, let's talk about white paper. Can you do the same thing with white paper? Yes, let me grab the last die set, the die and stamp set that I have for you. Kind of abstracty, I know, but I really like it. I'll come get my die later. Start with my stamp set. Put it on my makeshift block using my Sizzix cut pad, which has worked beautifully. I think we'll include that as part of the YouTube since I did it, even though I didn't do it for cutting, I did it for blocks. Now I'm going to grab the black ink. So this time, instead of using white, I'm going to use the black. And down, and a press, and I'm just trying to use it as a guide. So if I don't get a really deep, rich black ink, I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to use this as a guide. Although it looks really good. So one, and since I'm here, I'll just do two. This is a waterproof ink. So no worries about water paint or watercoloring over the top of it, alcohol inking over the top of it. Sound good? Works for me. Okay, so I've got two to play with if I want to. I'm going to do the same thing we've been doing. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to color with my Pearlex on these. You're like, really? And I'm like, oh yeah, I am. So how about something Aztec gold? Should we try Aztec gold? And maybe, I think this is rose gold. It is rose gold and Aztec gold. Whew. How can you say no to gold, right? So let's go ahead, and this is my wet brush. Let me clean it so I don't have, you can see how much stuff is left in there. Well, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I can live with it. A little bit of my, I think that'll be contrasty enough. Maybe I should use a different gold. Well, you know what? If I decide to add more gold to it, a different gold, I can. So a little bit of my Aztec gold, a little bit of my gum Arabic, a little water, bring it over, kind of make my paste. If I want it more pasty, I add less water. If I want it thinner, I add more water. And this is so pigmented that I can continually add water and I'm going to get a beautiful color. Okay, now I can go in. And just paint it in. If I go a little outside the lines, is that the end of the world? No, because I'm going to take that die and I'm going to cover this whole thing up. So if I go a little outside the lines, I'm fine. And you can see that the black is not moving. The ink is not smearing. So I put out a nice base color down there of the gold. As it dries, that metallic sheen is going to come up. But let's play with my, I don't know, do I want the rose gold or do I want something intense? Super russet. Anything that has the word super on it has to be good, right? Oh, too much, too much. And a little bit of my here. And some water. And mix. Because that gum arabic is acting as your binder. It is the glue that keeps it all together. So a little bit less water and blend, blend, blend. And maybe a little more gold in here. And just paint. That's all I'm doing is painting. And that black is acting as my guide. So I know where my flowers start, I know where my flowers stop. This time I put my super russet down first. If I go up and out, is that a problem? No, because you're going to cut it off. No big deal. And now this time, what's this? Sparkle gold. How can you not want to try sparkle gold? Love me some sparkle gold. Yes. Yes, it is sparkle gold. I might add some sparkle gold down here. And I'm just mixing. And letting it do its thing. Pretty. And what if if I come over here and I start with my sparkle gold. I'm just grabbing all the leftovers that are down here. And just finishing it out. Now let's come back in here and grab some of my super russet. Maybe a little more super russet. A little bit more. Zoop. And a little bit more gum arabic. A little bit of water. And I haven't cleaned my brush. I'm just letting my brush blend into it. All right. I suppose we can see what we've got. And I'm just laying my color in. I am not being picky or specific or anything. I'm just trying to stay inside my guides. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do, is stay inside my guides. But look at that shimmer and look at that shine and look at how fast I painted this. And yeah, it kind of looks like a hot mess right now. Yes, right now, but give me a minute. And I think I'm gonna change my brush. And while I'm here, because I can, I'm gonna do this one too. And I want that turquoise. I just believe that this turquoise is going to be fabulous. I wanna see it on white. So a little bit of turquoise. So maybe these flowers don't come this color in nature, but really, a flower can be any color that you can dream it up. I just know it's going to be amazing. I want to see it on white. So I got a lot going here. More than I probably need, no doubt. You guys have to use less than me. Oh my God, this color is beautiful. No, maybe the flower isn't this color in nature, but in my imagination, absolutely. A bit more water. And I'm just staying inside the lines. The lines up here I can go out because I'm going to cut those off. And I'm not being careful. I'm just letting the paint and the mica, well, the mica that I've turned into a paint, do the work for me. And I don't have to be careful because I've got the dye to go over the top. Okay, so I got a lot of blue going on there. What do we want to do besides blue? What do we want to do besides blue? Do I bring back that purple again and try? And the yellow, the bright yellow and the purple. Little purple. Arabic. And I'm just going in the way the flower goes. Oh, there's the sirens. And as it dries, the metallic pearlescence comes up. Look at that, I'm just... This is not fine art. But I think it needs a little something more. I think that yellow or the gold. Which gold was this? Solar gold. Okay, let's try them all, right? We've used every gold here. Why not solar gold? Well, I didn't use the rose gold. Oh, I was not careful and I... All right, well, it's gonna have to be. So I was not careful with my powder and I got a little bit right here. Can you see? Right there. We're just gonna blend it in. Oh yeah, really wet. I'm just putting the gold towards the bottom, kind of bringing it up a little bit. I'm just kind of fanning it on out. Okay, let's see what we got. I have no idea what we're gonna get. We'll let it dry for a minute. And while that's drying, I'm gonna die cut for my other one. Oh, it breaks my heart to do this. Too much water. I just couldn't not. I'm gonna let that dry. I'll use that as a wash for something. I just couldn't, it was too much for me to just let go. I'm gonna let that dry, and you'll see the metallic is starting to come up and come through, and I'm gonna use that someplace else on something else. I just couldn't let it go. Okay, yeah. You all are like, whew, you were causing me stress as you wiped it away every time. All right, lid, let's get my die cut. And let's die cut out some black. Bring over my die cut machine. And let's see what we get. And over and back. And let's see what we get. Okay. All my beautiful pieces just fall on out. And every detail that we covered up with our paint, we are now going to add back in with our dye. All the detail we covered up with our paint, we're now going to add back in with our dye. Okay, let's see how I do. Oh, that one wasn't so good. Maybe 80% on that one. And I think I'm gonna take so I don't want just the white background. I'm gonna take that blue marker. Hello, blue marker, where did you go? It was you. And anywhere I see white, I'm gonna color blue. And the marker resists, or the mica resists the marker. So if I accidentally get a little bit on the mica, no big deal. This is a dye-based marker, so it resists that mica that we put down, the Pearlex. This isn't an alcohol marker. I'm just coloring with an inexpensive marker from Violet Studios, which is by Crafter's Companion. Let's see the difference. So I like it better with the blue. Tones down that white just a little bit. That white just needed to be toned a hair bit. And I'm scribbling. So far I've done flicking and I've done scribbling. And see, if I accidentally go over, it resists. So you're not going to have to worry if you accidentally get it on the mica. You're going to be fine. My black ink isn't running all over everything. I line it all up. And look at what I've got. What if I took this one? Let's see what it looks like on this. What if I took that one and I colored, let's see, where's that I want the light yellow. Oh, lid please. Lid please. There we go. What if I have, do I have that light yellow? Soft yellow. That was a bright yellow. Bright yellow. Soft pink. Soft green. I don't know. Let's see what colors these are. Well, that would definitely pop. I think that would be too blah. I'm going with the green. Just to make that flower pop. Get rid of some of this white background. I don't care if I'm going outside the lines because I'm going to cut it off. I'm not even trying to be perfect. Far from it, I just want it pretty. Scribble, scribble, scribble. I colored way more than I needed to. Okay, let's put it down. I think the blue is beautiful. Let's put it down and see what we get. I think the blue is gorgeous. Line it up. It's going to tell you where to put it because it's the design of the flower. So you're going to put back all that detail that we colored out. One little extra little thing there. And now I'm going to put all that detail right back on in. Nope, I'm a little off. Pull it up and recenter it. There we go. That's better. Little one still in there. Pop that little guy out. Thank you. And now let's cut it out, because once we get rid of all the noise, you can really focus on the colors. I'm glad I went with the green. So whether you buy just the stamps, or you get the dies and the stamps, or you pull out dies and stamps you have at home to do this with, up to you. Remember, my collections are one and done, so when they're sold out, they are sold out. Sometimes I like my collections more than you. I love this one. And now look at what we have. What do you think? Right? I cut this one earlier. Let's just put it on since I'm here. And then I'll show samples. So we've been using the new inks from Jacquard. It's called Color Pad. He bought Clear Snaps, which did all the color box inks. They were all the color box inks. And now he's done a white and a black. The refills he did just for me. I said, I can't do them unless there's a refill. He just said, we don't have refills. I said, you gotta have refills. I can't do them without the refills. I gotta have refills. He said, okay, I'll do refills. And then we did them for $4.99 each. So you get all 4 pieces for a little over 15 bucks. That's a wahoo ka-choo for sure. I mean, even if you only use the white and the black for what I showed you today, the white is a pigment-based ink. We used it as a guide on black paper so that we knew where to color on our butterflies. That way we knew where to put the paint and how to do the paint. I just followed the lines and then used the dye to come over the top to finish it out. We used Pearlex. So the first time we had Pearlex, we just had the kits. Now we have kits and open stock. And the I Want It All bundle on the website is for the 20 colors that we've never had before. And the colors that don't come in the kits. So there's 20 colors, I believe, that don't come in the kits. And so we've never had them before. And then let's trim it on out. I wanted to take those ink pads. Yes, you can use them as ink pads. Yes, you can stamp on black paper with that white and it'll be beautiful. Absolutely. But I wanted to make them more of a tool. And when you need a guide, especially on that white, I mean, I added the white and the glue so I could see what I was going to paint in. It's all up to you. You have options. We did all of this today. All of this today. Using the same product again and again and again. Same product again and again and again in different ways, giving you different results that are unbelievably stunning. White paper, who would have thought? It's beautiful. Black paper, I knew mica. Mica goes gorgeous on black paper, absolutely. Normal ways of using mica powders, only one I stamped on with white and the glue so I could see where I was adding my color, and one I didn't. And then just using basic markers. Dual tip markers, inexpensive, 15 bucks for 30 markers if you're just starting out. We did all of this. I know it was a lot, but it was fun. Okay, so what is on sale? Okay, so I've got the dual tip markers, 15 bucks. You might already own these. We've done them before. They're not new. There's no new colors, but if you don't have them, this is the first time we're selling just the markers by itself. It came in as a bundle. Love them. They are not refillable. It's $15 for 30 markers. It is what it is. Glue pad. We'll do the glue pad. We always do the glue pad. The glue pad is like one of my go-tos. I have very little of this paper left. It's not so much metallic satin as it is a high gloss. We'll put what we have left on sale. We'll put it in the Well, we'll put it in the YouTube Yummies. It's already at its lowest price. And when it's gone, unfortunately it's gone. Who knows, when I get back, when I get to Germany, maybe I can figure out how to work with the manufacturers so that the shipping of the paper, it's not the cost of the paper, it's the shipping of the paper. Here we've done these before. We've done the sets, the series 1, the series 2, the series 3, and the calligraphy set. So these we've done before. We'll put them up again. So if you want to start with a set, absolutely. But then I also have about 52 open stock. Boy, the girls are gonna love me for expediting, and we're gonna be people short. So you're gonna have to bear with us. We are definitely gonna be people down for a little bit. But I've got all the colors that you could ever possibly imagine, plus the sparkles, plus the iridescence, plus the duo colors or the interference colors, all of them. Got them all. We'll do the gum Arabic. Yep, absolutely. And the pads, did I already do those? The pads as a bundle. So first time we're doing them, we're gonna do them as a bundle. Eventually we'll have them open stock for you. And then last but not least, my dies. So again, if you buy the set that has the die, you're going to get the stamp with it. You can buy just the stamp by itself, but if you buy the set that has the die, the stamp comes with it too. You don't have to buy the stamp separately. We package them together. I have 4 of them. 4. It's $59.99 for all 4 sets if you want it with the die, and I think it's $24 or something if you just want the stamps. The stamps are full A2 size. The dies are full A2 size. This is value pricing, absolutely. Just the stamp, stamp and die. Don't buy both. Gave you different sizes for the body if you wanted to make your butterfly body a little bigger. And then my last one is my birdie. This way. Stamp, stamp and die. And here he is. Beautiful. Those are beautiful. I think Claire put these together. Elena is out. So just the stamps. You have options. Make your heart happy. Maybe none of this was like, oh yeah, I need to have it. Maybe some of it is like, oh, I've got something close enough. Or maybe you looked at it and said, wow. I leave it up to you. So samples. Doris. Right? Doris, yes, Doris, beautiful. These are all done by Doris. Oh, is there nothing in, she didn't put anything that I need to open anything. Yes, I do. I didn't know I needed to open, so Doris. Doris. Wow, that's gorgeous. Doris? No, okay. Now I'm worried. Was there one in the For You? No, okay, good. Is there one in the Sending Hugs? No, okay. These are all done by SMS Girl Doris. So soft, so pretty, and so easy. And how you choose to layer them is up to you. Do you use just the stamp? Do you use just the die? Do you use them both? Those are all by Doris. Then we have Belinda. That is so pretty, Belinda. I love this. It's beautiful. And Belinda. Belinda. And here, see, they took, and she cut it a few times, and she set it off center. So the blue is the die cut, the gold is the die cut, and she colored underneath to almost create a shadow. It's just beautiful, Belinda. Really, really well done. And Belinda's butterfly. Right? They're beautiful. And then we have Elena. So Elena's bird, she's used specialty paper and then paper pieced it back in. And look at how soft and sweet is this, and that's just paper piecing. The pieces are so big. That's a easy peasy paper piecing for sure. This is all Elena. And here, paper piecing using patterned paper. And here, I think she used the rice paper. She stamped on rice paper and then colored it in. That's my guess, is she was stamping on the rice paper. That rice paper is very cool, the plain rice paper. Amazing. This is all Elena. She polka dotted my butterfly. Can you see she polka dotted my butterfly? Love it. And last but not least, we have Claire. Right? Yum. Hello. Colors are beautiful. They're so pretty. Look at this. It's like a sunrise. It's so beautiful. And here she did the same thing. She took the die cut and just kept it off the die or the stamp exactly, so you had those black elements from the stamp coming through as well. Really nice. Ooh, a little alcohol ink going on. And then her butterfly. So, all right, you guys. Yeah, it was long, but it was fun. I had a good time, so it doesn't matter to me how long it was. It was my playtime for sure. 3 hours? What's been 3 hours between crafty friends, right? I had a great time. I loved playing with all of this. This is my jam. Mixing and matching and making it easy and scribbling and flicking and spritzing and calling it done. My kind of crafting. So where are you going to find all of this? Well, the Simply Defined product you can only get from Scrapbooking Made Simple. So I can't send you to your local independent retailer, but you may be able to find the Pearlex at your local independent retailer. And I mean your local independent retailer. I suppose you could absolutely go on to Dick Blick and find them there, but Dick Blick can squash us all like a bug. So if you don't shop with us, that's perfectly fine, but find a smaller independent online store that would really value your business, because you know what? They will really value your business. Yes, Blick is like, whoo, big. I mean, whoo, and the pricing that they can do sometimes. So we try to do our best to match Blick's pricing. We try to do our best, and so that's what we do. So you can find maybe the Pearlex and the Jacquard product there. You might be able to find, or at your local independent retailer, you might be able to find the Essentials glue pad at your local independent retailer. dual tip markers, see if they've got them, and if not, then come online. But it's always important that we support the moms and pops who are in the same boat that we are, and we're all just trying to paddle our way up the stream. Or we just keep swimming. So it is me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Thanking you for taking this class with me for today. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you learned something. Hope you went for just a moment. And next week I will see you. The next time I see you will be Monday. Yes, make it Monday. So I will see you Monday, 5 p.m. sunny California time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, when we have a Make It Monday, that when it's gone, it's gone. There will be no more of it ever. I think it's 90 some odd dollars worth of product from Creative Expressions for $19.99. Wahoo, ka-choo. And then I am off to Germany, so pay attention. I'll announce what time we'll be doing the Saturday with Stacy class, because I will be in Frankfurt at that time, so it'll have to be a little bit later than 8 a.m. Probably 10 a.m. I'm thinking sunny California time. That will give me time to go to the show, get back from the show, load all the product, and still be around to still be there to live chat with you. Okay, you guys, it's been great. Thank you for spending the time with me. I had so much fun. Until next time, bye.